Walker has introduced her. She's got a special guest who's going to tell us his story.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. It is my pleasure today to introduce to some and to present to others Brother James Franklin. Would you please stand, James? Some of y'all may recognize him from Rotarian Idol. He was one of the singers, and we were so proud of him. The whole Exodus family, we put our shoulder behind him. We tried our very best in the audience favorite competition to help him win, and we were so proud. We came in second place. Brother James and those who supported him raised $1,000 for Rotary Idol audience favorite. We were super proud of our great showing there. I understood that the singers in the past individually have never raised as much money as James did, and the little girl Emily Stover above him. We're not quite ready for the song yet, Jimmy, but right now President Mark said it might be a good time to let James tell you what it meant to him to be in the Rotarian Idol competition and the support that he received, and then he's going to sing his testimony.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you for that introduction. It gives me great pleasure to come before you once again. I want to thank everyone for supporting Exodus Works with your donations, with the jobs that we received through this Rotary Club, which are many. We want to thank you, immensely. Lastly, I just want to talk about Rotarian Idol and what it has meant to me to be a participant in it. This is my second year trying out for Rotarian Idol, and this is the first year that I was in the finals. I was a finalist there, but it didn't take me long, when we had our rehearsal, our dress rehearsal, to find out that I wasn't going to win. The young lady, she blew it out at the dress rehearsal. So, our aim was to raise as much money as we could for education, because it is something that I have never done before. It is something that, I had never participated in before. We had an immense Facebook following. A lot of money was raised on Facebook. Actually, they say that you all became a Facebook star as a result of this. But, what really happened was, the people at Exodus got an opportunity to participate in something, that was meaningful. And that was to assist folks with education, scholarships, and raising funds. And it was the most important, the most value felt participation that we could have participated in. And I say we, it wasn't just me. It was the whole Exodus family, the whole Exodus movement. And we just want to thank the Rotarian Rotary Club for having something like that. And I'll be back next year. I'm going to be ready for the young thing. I got something in store. All right. I'm singing this song because it is my testimony. I'm saying that God felt as though I was worth saving, worth keeping.
They got, yeah.
We thought I was worth saving, so you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for, so you sacrificed your life so I could be free, so I could be whole, so I could tell everyone I know. Saving my life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for, so you sacrificed your life so I could be free, so I could be whole, so I could tell everyone I know. You thought I was worth saving, yeah, so you came and changed my life. Keeping, hallelujah. So you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for. Hallelujah. so I can be free. Oh, everyone I know, saving, came and changed my life, keeping. You thought I was to die for, so we could be free, so we could be whole, so we could tell everyone I know. Hallelujah, glory to the one who changed my life. And I will praise you, I will give you glory, I will praise your name, because we hold everyone I know. Everybody sing. Hallelujah. Glory, give God glory. Glory to the one who changed my life. And I will praise you forever. I will give you glory. I will praise your name. I will magnify your name. I will tell folks about you. I will love you, Lord. Hallelujah. Because we hold everyone I know. From saving, so you came and changed my life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was died for, you thought I was to die for. Die for. You thought I was to die for, so I can be free.
Based on your story and everything you've done and where you are in life, the board would like to give you out of the discretionary fund a check for $500.
Wow.
As a way
I can't, Lord have mercy. God is good, he's good all the time. I come from a mighty long way. I come from degradations of drug abuse, prisons, jails, and I've been here for 4 years, April the 9th. And my whole life has changed. My whole life has changed. I have friends in this room. I have Rotarian memorabilia from the meetings that I've come to. Please continue to do what you're doing. You are changing lives. You're doing the impossible. What they said was impossible through God, you're doing it. Thank you.
Amen.
I'm going to introduce the principal from Hickory High School, Ryan McCrary, and he's got some friends with him today.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for having us again today. This is the third time that we've been able to come and visit the Rotary Club at lunchtime. I've brought different students with me each time, and I couldn't be prouder of the young men and women that I brought with me today. I'm going to introduce them one at a time, and I asked them to come for various reasons. Each of them has different accomplishments that I would like for them to share with you. But we are having an outstanding year at Hickory High School. We talk about all the time excelling in academics, athletics, and the arts. And I think you're going to hear that as our young men and women speak today. We are definitely excelling in all three of those. And our mission at Hickory High is that we expect excellence and integrity, and I think these young men and women exude that. So at this time, I'm going to introduce them. This is Tyron Flowers, if you'll stand up. Tyron is a senior at Hickory High School. If you came to any of the Red Tornado basketball games this year, you would have seen him going up and down the court. And he's not only outstanding on the basketball court, he's a leader in our school. If I had the opportunity, I would hire him. I think he is just an excellent young man. And I'm going to let him say a few words about basketball and about Hickory High.
I think Hickory High is a really good school because they want you to succeed academically. They gave us a whole hour for lunch so we can work on our schoolwork. So that's good. And my favorite teacher at Hickory High is a biology teacher. And she's one of my favorite because you can tell she really cares about you. Like, she really doesn't want you, she really wants you to learn it and be good at it. And not only that, she cares about you outside of school as well. So it's a lot of teachers, I can name at least 10 right now, that care about you on and out of school, in and out. They really care about you and want you to succeed not only in the classroom but in life.
This is Zach Walker, and he was on our football team and on our basketball team. I left out that Tyron's also a track star as well. But I'm going to let Zach say a little bit about himself and share your plans for next year, okay?
Hey, I'm Zach Walker. I play football, basketball, and I run track as well. And this fall I'll be attending Fayetteville State on a football scholarship. And I like Hickory High that they just push you and get the best out of you, like at all times, it doesn't matter what it is, academically or sports. You stay after school just to get extra work in, for schoolwork or for your sports. And, we're pretty good this year in basketball. I think we tied or we might have passed for the most wins in school history this year. So we were 29-3.
Thank you, Zach. They did actually tie the school record for wins at 29, and they advanced to the state semifinals. And we were so close to making it to the finals. Zach actually missed a runner at the free throw line at the end of regulation against Concord and Robinson. We were that close, but it was a lot of fun to watch those guys compete this year. But as I said, they are also role models in the school and both do extremely well academically. I've got another young lady here with me. This is Sydney Brockenborough. You probably may have heard recently, but Sally Ross does an excellent job with our orchestra program at Hickory High. And just recently, for the 38th consecutive year, our orchestra program received a superior rating, which is the highest that you can attain. And we have done that for 38 consecutive years. And Sydney is a freshman, and according to Miss Ross, is one of the most talented orchestra members that she has ever had in class. So I'm going to let Sydney introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Sydney. Orchestra's been really great this year. For the first time going in, it's a little difficult starting out, but all the upperclassmen have really taken us under their wing and helped us out. One of the great things about orchestra is we get to work as sections and we work together. And right now we have a great group sound, and the unity that we've gotten this school year has just been so influential, and I'm excited to see what we're going to be doing in the future. Also, it's very great that we have orchestra in Hickory because many schools don't have an orchestra program, and the dedication that Mrs. Ross shows us is just very inspiring.
This is Malcolm Linebarger, and he is a senior at Hickory High School. And the reason that I asked Malcolm to come today is there are a few students in my life that have just touched me as no other students have. Every morning at Hickory High School, I stand out in our mall area, and Malcolm will come through the door every morning, and literally I will be standing here with my cup of coffee, and he will run up behind me and say, "Mr. McCrary," and grab me by the back. I think I've spilt 20 cups of coffee on myself. But he comes to school every day so excited to be there and so happy about being at Hickory High School. As I said, Malcolm is a senior. He's also participates in our Exceptional Children program. And you could not ask for a better student than Malcolm. Just lights up your day every day. He's a huge Seattle Seahawks fan. We won't hold that against him. But I think he has more Seattle Seahawks gear than any person else on earth. But as I said, he it just makes my day. It gets it started every day on a good note. He can really dance to Michael Jackson as well, and just a model student for us. And many of you may know his dad, Grover Linebarger, was a administrator in our school system for a long time, and was approaching retirement, and he took a position in Statesville Iredell schools, working to oversee all of their after-school programs. So that way you'll be able to stay in education for a long ways to come. But as a beginning administrator, I guess I'm getting a little bit older now, but he was always someone that I looked up to, Malcolm's dad, and just did a lot for our school, and I learned a lot from him as I was coming up in my path as well. So if we could give Malcolm a round of applause. I'm gonna Would you like to say something?
Oh yes, you know what, God. You know what I'm saying? I remember my baseball friend that loved me. I know track. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I remember my baseball. I'm for me. I'm a Seahawks fan. My touchdown for me. I talk about Curry. Yeah, food and really okay. Then I talk about Curry. Talk about Curry.
I have one other person that I'd like to introduce. This is Rebecca Tuttle, and as a principal, she is hands down the best assistant principal that I have ever worked with as an educator. And you can't do what you do as a principal if you don't have good folks surrounding you behind the scenes making things happen. And she is also our oversees our EC program, and I asked her to come because she's made a big difference in Malcolm's life as well. So I can't thank you all enough for allowing us to be here 3 times this year and allowing me to bring some of our finest students. The Rotary Club is just an awesome organization, and I appreciate your commitment to education and promoting our youth and helping them be successful in our community. So again, thank you for having us, and it's been an awesome year at Hickory High.
Do we have any guests of Rotarians in the room?
This is Gabriel Sherwood, and he's here visiting today, having recently graduated from NC State University in December, and is interested in employment in the nonprofit world. And we're glad to have someone here who's interested in community networking. So let's welcome Gabriel.
Thank you, President Mark. And one thing I want everybody to notice is this big championship ring that's on Mark's finger. Let's hear it for our own team. Once again, we're pleased to welcome Rob Hintz from Catawba Memorial Park. Rob's been with us several times, and we appreciate him coming back to us each time. Welcome, Rob.
Thank you, President Mark. I'd like to introduce the table Exodus family here. This is Billy Young. He is one of the men who works in Exodus Works, and we're so proud of him. This is Audrey Longcrier, the First Lady of Exodus Missionary Outreach Church and the case manager at Exodus Homes. This is Reverend Reggie Longcrier. Y'all say Rev. Rev. Yeah, this is the Rev right here. here, the Executive Director of Exodus Homes, Senior Pastor and Founding Pastor of Exodus Missionary Outreach Church. This is Omar Crosby, one of the great men that works in Exodus Works. This is Robert Franks, one of the other great men that works in Exodus Works. He's a driver. Of course, this is Brother James Franklin, who's a supervisor of Exodus Works and a great spiritual leader in the church as well. He has founded his own group called Prodigal Sons and Daughters, and you've probably heard them from time to time. This is George Reed, who is the assistant supervisor of Exodus Works and a great man. This is Jimmy Burchett, who is the warehouse manager of Exodus Works, also a fine gentleman. And this is Lisa McCorkle, our business manager and bookkeeper at Exodus Homes, the Exodus family. Thank you.
Any other guests? Who's introducing you?
Hello. My guest today is my son Scott from Advance.
Welcome to both of you. Any other guests?
I'm going to embarrass my son, but stand up. See, he's already turning pink. This is my son Tyler, and he is visiting from Northview Middle School. He's a 7th grader, plays French horn, and he plays baseball for the Optimists.
Any other guests? Do we have any announcements? Anybody have any announcements? Mark?
I know we're a little short on time, but if I don't say this, I'll never feel good about it. I won't have another opportunity ever. About 10 years ago, my friend and law partner, Kevin McIntosh, was on the board at Exodus House. And he introduced me to the concept over there. And it sounded pretty good. He talked about Susan Smith and Reverend Longfire all the time. Then I read the book about Reverend Longfire and his time in New Jersey prison, and the idea over there that, you know, you can come out of prison, and I don't know if you ever thought about it. I talked to a guy one time that's been on death row for 16 years, and he really wasn't guilty, but when he came out, the world was altogether different. And they gave him a wool suit and $5 and put him out on the street at Central Prison. And he wasn't bitter, but then I got to know Reverend Longfire better and better. I'd go over to Exodus. They used to have a Christmas celebration. And I thought my grandchildren needed to see a black Santa Claus, so we. And people asked me if I felt safe. I said I never felt safer in my life. I said I guarantee you those guys are not going to let anything bad happen to us. And then in the last 6 months, Reverend Longfire and I have had a little joint project that we've talked about and visited with. But what I want to say to you people, we've got a lot of valuable citizens in Hickory. But the Rev solves problems for our community and heads them off. And he's truly one of our MVPs for the whole town of Hickory. He's a great man.
Any other announcements while I'm out here? Anybody have any other announcements? As I'm headed back up, we are going to have a board meeting in the corner briefly after this meeting, and head to Tony for visiting Rotarians.
Thank you. Just one today from Lake Hickory, David Hood.
Welcome. If you didn't see, we did have a couple articles in the paper. Bruce had submitted. We were in the Hickory Daily Record. If you they were in the last couple of days, one about Rotarian Idol, and then also about giving away the $25,000 to Imagination Library. So we got a lot of great exposure there. If you didn't read your Rotarian magazine, there's a couple of great articles in there. One about what the actual board does for the foundation, and that's really neat to kind of look at that. Thomas has our sunshine report.
Thank you very much. Mark, you've got your workout in for today.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, with all of your walking around. Many, many guests for whom we are indeed thankful. James, after you got through singing, I was about to do what preachers typically do on Sunday morning, and that's to invite the congregation to stand for the benediction. Okay, 2 birthdays I'm aware of. Dan Kirby celebrated a birthday Monday. Not to be outdone, David Moore celebrated a birthday Tuesday. Other birthdays. Okay, well, Mark has called attention to the Rotarian for this month. I was going to mention a couple of articles. I will simply in passing. One, there's a wonderful story about the role of Rotarians in the creation of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And then there's a second article which I encourage you to read about what we do every Thursday, and that's to gather for a meal. It's a significant event, the meal. It's not simply about food, it's about conversation. Questioning one another, being curious about one another, learning about one another, and strengthening the fellowship that sustains us from week to week. Okay, 3 quips. Oh, and incidentally, we will be interviewing 6 of Hickory High School students for Service Above Self Scholarship. And that recipient will be introduced to you the 12th of May. So hold on to your hat. And Rosemary, Bashion, you have been naughty, so you have to see me after this meeting is over. Mark Twain, life would be infinitely happier if we could only be born at the age of 80 and gradually approach 18. Bob Hope on his family's early poverty. 4 of us slept in one bed. When it got cold, Mother threw on another brother. And finally, Easter is the only time of the year when it's perfectly safe to put all your eggs in one basket.
Thank you, Tom. A couple other quick announcements. Just remember, no meeting next Thursday. We meet Tuesday with we meet on Tuesday with the Tuesday Club, so we will not be here Thursday. Also, if you want to sign up to get a Rotary T-shirt, the sign-up sheet is right over there. There's also a picture of the T-shirts that Jack is ordering. We're looking for 1 or 2 volunteers to go with the Interact Club on April 23rd to adapt a highway program. They clean up the highway right around Hickory High School. So if anybody's interested in that, see Linda Lutz and she'll get you signed up. It's a great way to interact with them. And also the outdoor classroom, which we donated money to at Southwest last year. They were building a new outdoor classroom. We also got a matching $2,500 grant from the district on that. It's almost complete. And on April 7th, after our lunch meeting, we're looking for some Rotarians to go over there to Southwest and read to the kids in the new outdoor classroom that we paid for. So if anybody is interested, please see me and we'll get you scheduled for that. And I would like to introduce Tom and apologize that we have taken so much of their time, but I know everybody's anxiously awaiting their program.
I'm gonna call an audible. Is that all right? Grover, I am glad that your son is not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Being a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm glad that he is not.
I don't know if I'd admit being a
If you look
Cleveland
on your spoke and on the program, it's on April 14th. I'm supposed to be speaking about the Hickory Police Department because this program that is supposed to go on today is just so important and is so informing our community and what the Children's Advocacy and Protection Center does. I'm going to switch with them. So I'm talking off the fly here, and they're going to come back on the 14th and do their program because I think that it's just worthy of giving them a little bit of a time. So I'm going to talk about the Hickory Police Department. So here we go on the fly. One of the biggest things that we're dealing with at the Hickory Police Department is recruitment and retention of our police officers. I gave analysis to our staff, city management the other day, and we talked about how difficult it is to keep good people. Also, it's very difficult for us to recruit good people. Since the last couple years, we've seen a decrease in the police applicant pool. Mainly because I think that what's in our national media has brought the attention where folks maybe don't want to be police officers anymore. Maybe that's a tough job and it's tough for them to continue on doing that profession. So, and I don't know the exact numbers, I apologize, but I'll tell you that in 2015, we hired around 12 police officers, and we retained about 75% of those officers. Again, in 14, we hired several, and we retained, again, about 75%. And that was a constant theme until about year 5. In year 5, we go from 75% of retaining those individuals we hire down to 33%. So after about 5 years, folks decide that they want to move on. Now, we do lose some to federal and state agencies, but the retention of those officers is very critical. We say that for about the first 3 years, where they're in the training stages. Although they're out there, it takes about, if we send them to rookie school, it takes them anywhere from 10 to 12 months to get out there on their own after background, going through rookie school, through field training. So if we hire somebody that has no training whatsoever and they go to rookie school and after their field training, it takes about 10 to 12 months from the start of the background to when they can get out on their own and be that one-person car. So if you see 2 people riding around in a car, you see 2 officers getting out of the same car, that basically means that one of those folks are in training. And you can probably tell the ones that are in training, they look a little bit like me. They have no hair, it's gray. The young ones look a little bit more fit than I do. So, but about 3 years, we're still training them up. We're giving them all the basic skills that they need to be a functioning police officer. Again, they can make an arrest once they get out of rookie school and get sworn in, but it takes them about 3 years to be what we call a good seasoned officer. And that gives them an opportunity to be promoted to a master police officer. So then we lose them after 5 years. So we've lost a lot of investment in those officers. So, it's very important that the police department develops ways to try to continue to attract those. Another big area that we're having difficulty is attracting minorities candidates. We have a decent representation of our community, but in the last year, we lost 3 of our African American officers. So that is very difficult for us to recruit, because after analysis of our basic law enforcement training academies, we find that African Americans that are in the program is very limited. So a 4-county area, I think in the 4-year period there was only 12 or 15, and that's competing with all 4 counties in our area to attract those minority officers. So what we're doing, we're trying to get out to the community colleges, the Lenore Ryan University, all the African American and minority colleges, and try to recruit, do a little bit better job of recruiting those individuals. So that's another piece. We try to mirror our community, but it's very difficult. Again, very difficult to be a police officer, and to be matter of fact, it's very difficult to be an African American police officer in their communities that are being policed and saying, that they've kind of turned against their own. So it's very difficult for those officers to function. But again, trying to do a better job of recruiting. Our crime rate, thank goodness, we've had just a small uptick. Still been, and since '95, we're second lowest crime rate since 1995, but just a little bit uptick from last year, about 2.7% increase, which we don't like to see any increases, but if we continue to decrease crime, I'll be put out of a job, so I want to still work. I just do. But those are some few things that are going on at the Hickory Police Department. Again, on the 4th, no, Michael, no questions for you. But on the 14th, we'll have the Children's Advocacy and Protection Center back to give you a very informative program. And I apologize, maybe if you can allow, Bob, if you can allow me to get back up here before the end of the year, it'd be great. Michael, did you have a question?
I can't wait to my program.
Oh.
Okay. Y'all, let me call an audible, because these 2 ladies up here, who I appreciate coming, and great program, I know it will be. But from a timing standpoint, the Denim and Diamonds event for Children's Advocacy is going to be April 16th. Look at your calendars. It's going to be a very cool event. It's going to be in a barn in Claremont. There's going to be a pig picking and bluegrass. It's going to be a huge event. So plan to come if you can. They have some tickets. I have some tickets out the car, but it'll be awesome. And the work they do on the front line every day in the combat zone is incredible. Bring tears to your eyes if you see it. But you need to come out there and have a little fun with them so you can support it. That can be your part. Thank you.
All right, John.
Trump, what was it like?
Next question.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, we got a late notification Friday night that he confirmed that he was coming. We've heard rumors all throughout the couple of days, but Friday night we got word, and our command staff started planning with the Secret Service of the event, and it went as well as could be expected. There was an hour-and-a-half delay of his plane, so it went well. We wasn't in the national news like Chicago and others, so I think I call that a success. But it was a very, very busy weekend. We'll just leave it at that. Yes, David.
You hear a lot about teacher salaries being low, and I know that police salaries are very low. And is that set? Is that a city-to-city thing? You know, how do you? Is there a way to get those up to make it more attractive to recruit?
Each municipality, each county, each state agency sets their starting rate and kind of their step program within that rank system. Obviously, you know, I would be foolish if I wouldn't stand up here and say, yes, we need more money. That is an attraction. We hopefully that not only we can help with that money situation, but also attract them because they want to come to Hickory. I'm very encouraged by our bond referendum and our projects coming up over the next few years that it'll attract more people to Hickory and our younger people for those professions. So always constantly benchmarking with other agencies and trying to see where we need to adjust, because we do lose them to other agencies, but I'm losing officers to go be bridge inspectors. So it's not all just going into different law enforcement profession. It's going to some other profession as a whole. Yes, John.
I had the same question David had, but how about telling us what's the starting salary if you go through the training program, and what do you have available to bonus those people who finish after a year or two or three and have made the training and are still working?
A certified police officer, and I don't have the exact number in my head, but it's around $36,800, I believe. It's in $36,000 range. A cadet that is not certified, we would hire them at a 10% lower than that rate, and then once they become certified, we would push them up to that salary, which is about 3 months. They have opportunities for promotion. After 3 years, they get evaluated once a year and get depending on the availability of funds, can get a merit increase. After 3 years, they can be promoted to master police officer, which would give them a 5% increase. We do have some things built in where if they get certifications, certain certificates through the state, that they receive a bonus for their certifications and try to get them to retain here. We do have a tuition assistance program where they can go back to school. Really going to try to pitch that and for a recruiting tool as to be a little bit more upfront, and if they get hired here, we would pay the same amount of money for a loan for the tuition assistance that they could pay off their student loans. So we're looking at a lot of different things, but yeah, we need to try to tweak some things to help out.
How many officers on board today?
We're authorized 117. We have 109 as it sits today. Flip, do you have something else?
It was the same
Okay,
question,
okay,
except for, so just the point, so our starting officers are below the median income for the Hickory area, right?
If you tell me that's right, I don't know that the median income is.
Think about that.
Okay,
I mean, I think
sure.
that's really
Okay, well, that's a good point. Yes.
But there's no trigger at year 5 to motivate them to stay to year 10, to your point. It falls off at 33% retention, and so there's no incentive beyond incremental bonuses to get them to stick around past year 5.
Right, that's where we see a big decrease of where they, Chief Lucas always said if we can get them hired, get them married, and having kids here, they'd stay. But it seems like that's not happening as quick as we want them to. We got a great school system. That's why they want to stay.
Mortgage, you got to buy a house too.
And they got to buy a house too. So, yeah, that's that. If we can get them here, and after that 5-year, we can figure out how to keep them here for that 10-year. It's kind of on their way. Now, they can retire after 30 years. Their benefit package is a decent one, but we're seeing that they're not wanting to stay. And we all in this room know our generational X, Y, Z millenniums, all those, how they're very mobile, and they look for several different jobs. So we're dealing with the same thing in our profession. All right. Thank you.
Chief, thank you, and I apologize, we didn't leave you enough time. Ladies, I apologize. I guess if there's a bright light to the whole thing, you get 2 lunches for 1 program. I don't know if that means anything to you, but we'll look forward to the 14th, and I promise we'll leave you enough time on the 14th. Susan, if you want to come down. Don't forget the cart buckets, and also on your tables, we've got 3 names for new members, potential new members, and they'll be on your tables this week and next week. And no, not next week, the week after. We won't be here next week on Thursday. We'll be Tuesday, meeting with the Tuesday Club.
President Mark, we have 41 cards and 2 jokers. We took in $66 today to a total of $805 in the pot.
There, it came out. That's the winner. That's the winner. Yeah, there you go.
You can read it.
Last 3, 379. What? Didn't know if he was stretching or what he was doing.
Slow motion. It's kind of
Past President Moore.